Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another round of sound. You like the new open? This is the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown on a busy week. Bob Pompeani here manning the controls. We have a lot to get into with the Pittsburgh Steelers, with the Pittsburgh Penguins, and that'll be our #1 topic tonight. And we're in studio, look at this, with our cast here with Jeff Hathhorn, Andrew Fillipponi.
Bob, I was laying down on the PTL couch before this. I was so excited to be back. I kicked my feet up. I made myself at home.
I want to be able to wear shorts again because you can't see the legs.
Believe me, this hurts to do it like this. There's no question about it. But it's good to see you guys.
You too, Bob.
Likewise.
It's about time other than Zoom. We have a lot to get into. As I said, the #1 topic tonight on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown will be the Penguins. So, Josh, you've been there all throughout. If I had told you at the beginning of this that Louis Domingue would outduel, essentially, Igor Shesterkin, would you have said what to me?
Well, I would have called you a liar. And I also would have said, listen, we talk about it all the time. The Stanley Cup Playoffs are the greatest spectacle in sports because you have no idea what's going to happen. We pretty much know what 2 or 3 teams will be in the NBA final, right? We know who the good NFL teams usually are.
Baseball, especially.
All right, that more than any. In hockey, you don't know, Bob. You just don't. And the Penguins, all of a sudden, they look so lethargic, so bad for the last couple of months. All of a sudden, they're playing with all this energy, scoring all these goals against the best goalie in the world. They have a real chance to win this thing, in my opinion.
I think they've rallied around Domingue. I think they've got a guy. They like the confidence. You hear all his teammates rave about him. After the game, you were in that room, Josh. So were you, Jeff? Bob, he reminded me of Fleury the way he talks to the media. He's got that
comfortable,
right?
Yeah.
But there's also a politeness there.
And a charm.
And a charm, exactly. Yeah. There's an understated charisma there about Louis Domingue that I think is infectious, Jeff.
Yeah, you noticed it when he mentioned the food that he ate, and he kind of looked at the camera right after he was done, like a pro. I mean, it was amazing.
How about the Mother's Day line?
Oh, the Mother's Day line was outstanding yesterday.
My mother-in-law loved that.
But I think,
couldn't get enough of it.
To your guys' point, as much as you love the ramped-up hockey, the physicality of the playoffs, it's the stories. It's stories like this. It's Johan Hedberg having that crazy run that everybody remembers. What do you remember about that postseason? You remember Hedberg. And this is one of these great stories of a guy who's, I mean, it's not like he's shutting out the Rangers, yet everybody loves him, and he's done enough. And, man, he's won 2 games.
Yeah, he's given up goals, but he's made big saves, like the one on Panarin that led the way to the Danton Heinen goal. So, Pony, let me ask you, do you expect this to continue? How can it continue? And what do you expect from the Rangers in goal tomorrow night?
Well, I expect the fans to continue to give it to Shesterkin. The guy really probably should have been reprimanded for the dive. I mean, was that unbelievable? When he's laying there down on the ice, he rose from the dead like Lazarus for Game 3, and he was terrible. But seriously, I mean, that's an affront to hockey, what he did. No, I think it can keep going. And the reason why I'm confident in that is there's an unorthodox nature to this guy. There's no scouting report because he's been in the minor leagues for so long. He's got the glove on the opposite hand, right, Josh?
Yeah.
I would think that is something that most shooters aren't used to seeing, and there's a little bit of an adjustment there.
No, they're not. He's been just good enough. He hasn't been great, but this is wide open hockey. This is not your conventional playoff series. This is the closest thing we've seen to Penguins Flyers in 2012. When it's just 2-on-1s, wide open hockey.
Not tight checking.
Not good. That's not good for the Penguins. And we learned that lesson. If you watch them when they're up 4-1, they invited New York back into the game. Conversely,
but the Rangers are supposed to be a structured team, Bob. I like that they're kind of taking them out of their game.
No, but you don't. The last thing you want is to have, isn't this right, Jeff? You don't want them to start coming at you. Make it difficult for them to get through the neutral zone into your zone. They did that after Danton Heinen scored.
Well, they put some pressure on the Rangers, too, because they've been able to score. They've made it closer games. And you know the other thing they've done in this series is they've survived 2 really bad periods. One in Game 1, and then the second period last night.
Agreed.
And they plowed through it and found a way to win both of those games somehow.
There's something to be said for the guts this team has. I mean, really. I thought that game was over in Game 1 after the first period when I was just happy they all survived after that period. The way they were getting steamrolled, they find a way to win, they do it again. This team does have a resiliency about it, and I keep going back to Mike Sullivan. I don't know what he said after the second period last night. It worked. They were great in the third period. And, Bob, when they took the lead to make it 5-4, those final 9 minutes, that was the best they've looked in months. That was dominant hockey. They need to keep playing exactly that way.
But even though they won, they have issues. And I want to bring one up that's bothersome to me, and that's without Brian Dumoulin, they don't have anybody to play with Chris Letang, or at least they don't have anybody who can play as well as Brian Dumoulin. So what do they do here with regard to who do they pair with Chris Letang? It's affecting his game, and I think it has a trickle-down effect. Jeff?
I mean, that's a tough job for anybody. That's what made what Dumoulin has done over the last few years so special. It's not easy to play with Chris Letang. He's a dynamic player, but you have to know what you need to do. And I don't care who it is. I don't think there's anyone you can just throw in with Chris Letang.
Well, I'm happy you brought it up like that. Josh, I was in Nashville for the outdoor game in February, and I was drinking beers with Hale Gill. I'm name dropping here.
Because if you're in Nashville, you're
How
drinking.
many beers? Let's get it right
Battleship.
down specifically.
We had enough beers where
betting on Hal.
Hal looked at me and he said, I couldn't play with Gonchar. He said, great defenseman, Hall of Famer. I just could not play with the guy. Could never get comfortable. And I think you see that now. Matheson and Letang are similar styles. And I'm with you, Bob. I just don't think that works.
But who does work with him at this point?
That's the question for him, because he covers the team better than I do.
Hopefully Brian Dumoulin plays tomorrow night, and then we won't have to worry about it. If he doesn't, Marcus Pettersson's the only guy who makes sense. Stylistically, he's a lot like Dumoulin.
True.
He's a stay-at-home guy. He's got the long reach, a good one-on-one defender. Nobody else really makes sense. Matheson and Letang are a complete disaster together. You can't leave them together any longer.
Can you play Marino offhand?
You could, and it's worked before. Marino's been their best defenseman in the series, guys. He has been unbelievably good. But the Penguins' concern, and it might be a valid one, is that Marino and Pettersson are at their best when they're together. If you separate them, they both sometimes have problems. I think you might have to, though. That's just my opinion.
Josh, I have a fear of Pettersson and Letang together. Like, that could really go off the rails, because there's times it does for Chris and there are times it does for Marcus. And I would say the other guy, and I know this might be throwing it out there to some people, Ruhwedel can play with anybody. I think Ruhwedel can handle any situation that you throw at him.
But you're going to play him like 25, 30 minutes, though, if he's with Letang.
That would be my concern.
And can he play on the left side, which
he's
very rarely done in his career.
It's just that he has been so good and so understated in what he brings to this team that he would be a guy that I would trust as much as any of them.
And this is why, as much as Dumoulin has struggled this year, guys, they need him.
I agree.
There's a trickle-down effect in the lineup
question.
when he's not in there. Letang is at his best when he has Dumoulin, even if Dumoulin isn't. And the Penguins often go as Chris Letang goes.
And we saw what happened when Jason Zucker back in the lineup. He provided some energy, a veteran guy.
Yes.
He didn't score, but he made a difference in that game. We're going to talk about what happens next. Will the Penguins win this series, and how do they do it? With Game 4 coming up tomorrow night at PPG Paints Arena, that's when we continue. This is the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown on KDKA-TV.